See, Bohr atomic model or Bohr's theory. What is Bohr's theory? Bohr's theory means what, ma? What he said? Generally, electrons are revolves around the nucleus. First point, let's see. The electrons are revolves around the nucleus in a circular path or in a circular orbits. In a circular orbits means like this is the nucleus. Imagine that this is the nucleus. Around the nucleus, electrons are revolves around the nucleus in a circular orbits or in a circular path. This circular path is called as orbit. The circular path is called as orbit, and also that revolves around the nucleus in a circular path or circular orbit at it has a definite distance from the nucleus. So this distance is fixed, ma. This distance is fixed. They revolves around the nucleus in a circular path. The circular paths are called orbits. Has definite distance from the nucleus. Definite distance from the nucleus. Okay, let's see second. While the electrons are revolves around the nucleus in a circular orbits, that circular orbits are associated with definite amount of energy. Associated with a definite amount of energy or fixed amount of energy. That's why these orbits also called as energy levels. Means this is first energy level, this is second energy level, like third energy level. So these energy levels, they are designated as denoted as K, L, M, N, like different symbols they given. These energy levels also called as K means 1, L means 2, M means 3, N means 4. So like the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the symbols K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, V, like. Those are called energy levels. Why? These orbits we are calling as energy levels, man. These orbits have definite amount of energy or fixed amount of energy. That's why these orbits also called as energy levels. These orbits also called as energy levels. They are designated as or represented as K, L, M, N, O. This is also nothing but K is nothing but 1, L is nothing but 2, M is nothing but 3, N is nothing but 4, O is nothing but 5. These are called orbits, or these orbits also we are calling as energy levels. What is another name came? Energy levels. Why we are calling as the orbits are calling as energy levels? Because those orbits have definite amount of energy or associated with fixed amount of energy. That's why it is also called as energy levels. That energy levels, they are represented as K, L, M, N, O, or nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So understood, ma? The second point. Now, and it's very important, man. While the electrons are revolves around the nucleus in a circular orbits, has definite distance from the nucleus. They have some definite or fixed amount of energy. That's why those orbits also called as energy levels. Okay. Now up to that it is clear. Those are also called as the orbits also called as energy levels. While the electrons are revolves around these orbits as long as, so how much time they are revolves around the nucleus, they won't absorb energy and they won't emit energy. Absorption means it does not receive any energy externally, it does not receive any energy. The electrons does not receives any energy from externally, as well as does not releases energy. That's why these orbits also called as stationary orbits. These also called as stationary orbits. Let's see. This is the nucleus. In the nucleus, the electrons are revolves around the nucleus in a circular orbits or circular path. So these are called orbits. These orbits also calling as energy levels. Okay, these energy levels also we are calling as stationary orbits or stationary cells. Stationary orbits are also called as stationary cells. They are represented by KLM. Is also nothing but 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like. So let's see orbits, energy levels. That energy levels having while the electrons revolves around the nucleus as long as time, it never absorbs energy and it never emits energy. KLMN, generally we don't use this symbol representation. Mostly we are using an electronic configuration or distribution of electrons present in that orbit, say the first orbit or second orbit or third orbit. In that electronic configuration, mostly we are using 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10, like cell representation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only we are using. In that place we can write K. Okay, 2 in that place we can write L also. Okay, so the two types of notations are present or representations are present for orbits. That orbits are energy levels or stationary orbits. Understood, man? Abhay? Up to that it is clear. So while the electron revolves around the nucleus as long as time, it never absorbs energy, it never emits energy. It never emits energy. That's why what we are calling that energy levels are orbits, also calling as stationary orbits. Stationary means fixed. Stationary means fixed. Okay, so stationary orbits. Let's see if any other cases means extraordinary conditions. For example, I used some energy, means I heated that atoms. Then what happens, ma'am? If I supplied some external energy, means what it happens, that atom absorbs energy, then immediately what happens, ma, that atom electrons absorbs energy, then they are jumps from lower energy level to higher energy level. For example, in that K cell some electrons also present, the K cell some electrons present. Okay, in the K cell some electrons present, it absorbs energy. If absorbs energy, if absorb energy, then what happens when this electron jumps from lower energy level to higher energy level. Higher energy level is represented by lower energy level is represented by E1. Higher energy level is represented by E2. In that case, when the electrons are jumps from lower energy level to higher energy level, it absorbs energy. It absorbs energy. When the electrons jumps from higher energy level to lower energy level, it releases energy. For example, in the third cell electron is present, it releases energy. It releases energy. It releases energy. Then it comes to lower energy levels. Means, so when the electrons when the electrons are moving from one energy level to another energy level, in that what happens, so when the electron is jumps from lower to higher level, it absorbs energy. The absorbed energy is useful too. The absorbed energy, see ma, fourth point only I am telling. If the electron emits energy, electron has emitting energy, it loss energy or it release energy, then immediately what happens, ma? These are the energy levels. 1, 2, 3, 4. See here, electron is present. Electron comes to the lower energy level, release energy. When electron is present in the first level, it goes to higher energy levels, it absorbs energy. If any condition, when electron releases energy, in that case what happens, ma'am? When electron absorbs energy, then the electrons are goes from lower energy level to higher energy level. Electron releases energy, then they comes from or jumps from higher energy level to lower energy level. That energy difference pathwise delta E is equal to E2 minus E1 is equal to h mu. So how much? According to Max Planck quantum theory, if releases energy or absorbed energy is equal to h mu. So here releasing energy or absorption of energy is due to that transition of electrons. When releasing energy, in that case what happens now? The electrons are transferred from higher energy level to lower energy level. When it absorbs energy, then the electrons are transferred from lower energy level to higher energy level. That energy difference is equal to h nu. That energy difference is equal to h nu. That is the fourth point. Clear? Now, and another important postulate given by Bohr's theory is angular momentum. What is angular momentum? Angular momentum of electrons is nothing but mass into velocity into radius of orbit. Is known as angular momentum of electron. So generally electrons are revolves around the nucleus. In that case, it's angular momentum. That angular momentum is nothing but how we are calculating the angular momentum for a motion particles. That angular momentum is equal to mass into velocity into radius. When electrons or any particles are moving in a circular path or in a circular orbit, its angular momentum is equal to m into v into r. How much he said for electrons? That angular momentum of electrons, generally he said always is equal to an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. If the electron is present in first cell, then mvr is equal to the electron is present in first cell 1, 2, 3. If electron is present, in that case mvr angular momentum is equal to h by 2 pi. N equal to 1. If in the second cell, the mvr is equal to 2h by 2 pi. N equal to 2. If in the third cell, the electrons are present in the third cell, their angular momentum is equal to 3 into h by 2 pi. If it is present in the nth cell, then the angular momentum mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. He said. That is. So, what is said by Niels Bohr? The angular momentum of electrons in an orbital is always equal to integral multiple of h by 2 pi. Is integral multiple of h by 2 pi. According to that, mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi, where m is equal to mass of electron, v is equal to velocity of electron, r equal to radius of orbit, h equal to Planck constant, and pi value 22 by 7 or 3.14. N values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is n equal to 1 means the electron is present in first orbit. Its angular momentum is equal to how much, man? Theoretically it is equal to h by 2 pi. If n equal to 2, if electrons are present in the second orbit, then angular momentum is equal to this 2 will cancel, then h by 5. This calculation is important. Sometimes in objective exams they are asking. If electron is present in second orbit, its angular momentum is equal to h by pi. If electron is present in third cell, the angular momentum is equal to 3h by 2 pi. Directly he derived, he imagined that MVR, that angular momentum value, is an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. H by 2 pi. H means Planck constant and 2 and pi are the constant values. He imagined that, and it is correct also. That will be proved. This MVR is equal to h by 2 pi has been proved by de Broglie scientist. That we'll discuss later. How that MVR is equal to h by 2 pi came. Okay, angular momentum, how it is equal to nh by 2 pi, that we will discuss in de Broglie's hypothesis. Okay, de Broglie has proved the angular momentum of an electron present in an orbital is an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. But Niels Bohr is not proved, but he is proposed this postulate. He imagined that, and he said he given one formula or one relation that angular momentum of an electron is an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. Okay, these are the important postulates of Bohr theory. Yes, ma'am. See last point. Dani, listen. What he said, it is very simple, ma'am. Angular momentum. Generally, any particles are present in the motion, means moving particles in a circular path, they have certain angular momentum. Generally that angular momentum, how we are calculating? Angular momentum for a motion particles in a circular path always is equal to mass into velocity into radius. This for electrons, what he said, that angular momentum MVR is an integral multiple of h by 2 pi, he said. nh by 2 pi, because the electrons we don't know where, always the electrons may be present in first orbit or present in second orbit as well as in third orbit as well as in fourth orbit, depends on their atomic number. Then the atoms having some fixed number of electrons are present. That electrons also, all electrons are not present in a single orbit. Already we know that point, that orbit, the electrons are distributed based on their energy levels, based on their atomic number. And in the first cell, maximum how many electrons are present? 2 electrons are present, that present in 1s orbit. Here in 2s and 2p orbits are present, and 2 plus 6, total 8 electrons present. Maximum 8 electrons are present in second orbit. And in third orbit, 18 electrons maximum. 3s, 3p and 3d orbitals are present. In the 3s, 2 orbitals, and 3p maximum 6 electrons, and 3d maximum electrons. Total 18 electrons are present. That 18 electrons are around, surrounding, and they revolves around the nucleus. In that case, that each electron wherever it may be present, that is not a problem. Either maybe in first orbit or second orbit or third orbit. Always the angular momentum MVR is equal to nh by 2 pi. MVR is equal to nh by 2 pi is said. Where n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If n equal to 1 means what it indicates, the electrons are present in first orbit. N equal to 2 means what it indicates, the electrons are present in second orbit. Then the angular momentum is equal to this 2 will cancel h by pi. Like he is proposed one postulate that will be proved by de Broglie scientist. Okay, students, clear? Rani. Okay. Now let's see this deep Niels Bohr, how he has calculated a radius of orbits in hydrogen atom. Formulas important, already mentioned. Radius formula, energy formulas, and velocity formulas. Based on that formula, we will discuss some applications. In the next class, I will give some important examples for these formulas related problems. Let's see radius of orbit. Radius of an orbit in hydrogen. See here, Coulomb's law we need to use now. This is the nucleus. Nucleus. Always the nucleus have positive charges present and the electrons have negative charges present. This is called radius. Maybe the electrons are present in first orbit, it is R1. It may be present in second orbit, R2. Maybe present in nth orbit, it is Rn. Okay? What is Coulomb's law? Coulomb's law and all will discuss mostly detailed applications and all in physics it will come soon. But generally, according to that Coulomb's law means in atoms what type of forces are present? See, if they through the center some are rotating around in circular path, then what happens, ma? They always the nucleus will try to attract and the electrons will goes to outside. Means they have two types of attractive forces are present. That inside the force, inside. The second one is outside force. Outside force. According to Coulomb's law, the inside force is always is equal to outside force. Inside force is known as centripetal force. This outside force is known as centrifugal force. Okay? According to Coulomb's law, centrifugal force is equal to minus of centrifugal force. Okay? Because both are equal but they are having opposite. One is inside force, second one is outside force. Hey, Abjal, just you imagine that in our childhood stage, just you take one thread there, just you keep it one stone and rotate like, then what happens now while you are rotating in a circular path, then what happens, ma'am? The try to, if you are stopped, means it will come inside the center. If just leave that through your hand, then what happens, ma'am? It goes outside. It goes outside, means that is outside force. And one is while any particles are rotating in a circular path from the nucleus. In a circular path from the nucleus at definite distance. A definite distance or fixed distance, then continuous rotating, then nucleus try to attract in that particles, and these particles try to protect from the nucleus and they try to moving away from the nucleus. They try to move away from the nucleus, but it doesn't goes outside. The electrons are not going outside because they are continuous rotating the nucleus around the nucleus. In that case, why they are continuously rotating around the nucleus means because they have inside force, the force acting the inside are attractive forces and repulsive forces, both are equal and opposite. The both are equal and opposite, that is that forces are known as centrifugal force, that is the force acting on inside. Centrifugal force means the force acting on outside, means a repulsive force, and both are opposite signs, because attractive and repulsive both are equal, then it can't move, it can't fall on the, it can't comes inside. That's why both are opposite signs. So for electrons, then the nucleus having positive charge and electron having negative charge. In that case, the centrifugal force is equal to E square minus E into E square by R square is equal to minus mv square by R. M means mass of electron, V means velocity of electron, R means radius of orbit. R means radius of orbit. mv square by R. Now from this here radius is present, then see this R and this R will cancel, this negative sign will cancel, then E square by R is equal to mv square. Now here Bohr theory we need to apply according to Bohr's theory. According to Bohr's theory, mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. Is it clear? Already we discussed that postulate. Now from this mv, otherwise v is equal to nh by 2 pi m into r. Then v square. So this is equation 1. Then in that equation 1 v square, v value you have to substitute. Just you substitute that. Then what happens one? E square by r. E square by r is equal to m into v value. How much? nh by 2 pi mr whole square is nothing but n square h square by 4 pi square m square r square. 4 pi square m square r square. This one m will cancel. This r and this r will cancel. Let this r is coming to this side. This r equal to n square h square by n square h square by 4 pi square m e square. That is the radius formula what one? N square h square by 4 pi square m e square. Already that only I said this formula how, this R how we derived the centrifugal force. Centrifugal force is equal to mv square by R. This is minus e square by r square. Then we got one relation, and after that we used mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. Then v formula, that v value here I substituted. Then from this r and r one cancel, then r equal to n square h square by 4 pi square m e square. Let r equal to rn is equal to radius of nth orbit. Therefore rn equal to n square h square by 4 pi square m e square. This directly we need to remember what is the radius of nth orbit. N square h square by 4 pi square m e square. 4 pi square m e square. There some constant values are present. What are the constant values? End of the formulas are very, very important, but derivation how, just we need idea is enough. Once you repeat, you observe once again and read, then you will get we understood very easily. So the radius of nth orbit is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square m e square, where h is constant and pi value 3.14. You substitute m equal to mass of electron, E equal to charge of electron, So H value Planck constant, you take 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second. Pi value already know that mass of electron is equal to 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg you take. And charge of electrons is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. You substitute the values in the above formula, then we'll get one constant, that is radius of hydrogen atom. What is that formula? Radius of hydrogen atom in nth orbit, Rn equal to 0.529 into 10 to the power of minus 8 into n square centimeters. Okay, this is direct formula. This formula is very, very important. Comparatively, this 0.0529 into 10 to the power of minus 8 into n. N means maybe first orbit or second orbit or third orbit. N values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to infinity in centimeters. Radius means in centimeter units, 0.529 into 10 to the power of minus 8 into n square centimeters. But 10 to the power of minus 8 centimeters is equal to 1 angstrom. Therefore, Rn is equal to 0.529 into n square angstroms. This is for hydrogen atom and hydrogen like atoms. For hydrogen like atoms, hydrogen like atoms means He plus Li plus 2, like one electron containing species are called hydrogen like atoms. Rn equal to 0.529 into n square by z angstroms. N square by z angstroms. See, this is for hydrogen like species. For example, 0.0529 is constant. Z value is for He. Helium it is 2. Lithium it is 3. Beryllium or for hydrogen it is 1. Then Rn equals 0.529 into n square. So Rn1 by Rn2 ratio. Then what happens now? This value will cancel, is equal to n1 square by n2 square into z2 by z1. z2 by z1. This is one important formula. See, the radius, maybe it is present in first cell or second cell, that values they will give. And comparison between the two atoms, maybe for hydrogen or lithium, then Z1 and Z2, either lithium or hydrogen. See, the atomic number increases, then what happens when the radius is decreases? Because for hydrogen like species, the atomic number is increases, the nucleus contains positive charge will be increases, then the radius will be decreases. So these are the important formulas, man. N means first orbit or second orbit or third orbit or nth orbits. Maybe electrons are where it is present, we don't know. Whether it is in first orbit, see, if n equal to 1 for hydrogen atom, R1 equal to 0.529 angstrom.